It's a little chilly today. It's a little chilly this morning. It's a little chilly this morning, but that's okay for me. I am up early. Today is Saturday. I've got a Nugget soccer game. Hi, Blue Kitty. So I'll be going to this soccer game. I have a Sam's Club order coming in. So just trying to get up and get my shit going, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to pop on, say happy Saturday. Let's do a little chat, get the day going. If you haven't already gotten the day going, I think my what do you mean? Not you again, Goodman. Good, truth be told. It's time to get moving. It's time to get off your ass and exercise. You know what I mean? It's time to get your priorities in there. Right. It's time to get your ass in gear, moving. Y'all, I see you there laying on your couch in your recliner, still in bed. Get up, get at 'em, and do something active today. Can't stop the wine though. Yeah, no. Well, I have for my Cabo trip because I feel like the wine is giving me a little wine belly. And we don't want that shit hanging out, you know, too bad. So I figured you're in a wheelchair, you can still move your arms. You can still move your arms. We can build up some guns. We can do some bro sessions. So I think I'm gonna go to some wineries today. But other than that, no wine. I have one more week to get this food gone. It's gotta go. It's hanging too much. It's a little too bloated for me. And let's not get started on the love handles. You know? Yes, the love handles. But we can tuck those shit. I think we can tuck. Can we tuck that shit in? Oh well. How is it going without the wine? Fine, actually. You know, not bad. The last couple days I've had one drink. I've had some gin. You know, some gin with some seltzer water. Fine. Just not interested, you know. I'm either all in or I'm all out. You know what I mean? I tell you guys this all the time about me. I'm either in my drinking era or I'm just meh. Hi Mike G. Second day, if you're fast, well let me call you out. And why the fuck are we fasting? Hey Brittany. Happy Saturday. So I might do something today. I might. Let's see how the evening progresses. Depends on Ben and the Andrew. You know, it's just hard to really pinpoint a time. Hi, Shauna. So, I'm dragging ass today. This rash had me be like, fuck, my body's overworked. My body doesn't know what to do. So, what's Dan's family like? Loud, opinionated, judgy, most families. Like most families. But good people. One good hangover cures my drinking urge. Yeah, see, I don't even, not me. Like I say, I'm either drinking or I'm not. Or I have one drink and I'm good, you know? And so the last couple days, one drink, I think I had one shot of gin last night and my seltzer water. And then that was it. The night before, I think I had like a double, but because I was at the casino. But did I figure out what the rash is? No, but it is like t-shirt, it's like a t-shirt, my rash. So it had to have been the t-shirt I was wearing the other day, because why does it resemble where my t-shirt was? So who knows? I hadn't worn that t-shirt in a long time. So anyhow, hi Diane. I tell you, today I don't feel like running. And yes, I'm wearing my shirt from last night. Less laundry for me. People are always coming on and bitching, right? Bitching. I've had shingles, yeah. No, they're not pussy. It's literally a rash. So I haven't worn that shirt in a while, so it just seems like maybe something was on it. There was some, who knows. So as far as that is, I don't know. What else was I talking about? Oh, my shirt, my laundry. So I'm the only person who reuses their stuff. Oh, Walmart order might be here. Yeah, I work. Me too. I slept in this, and I'm working out in it. Word to your mother. Yep. I have so much laundry that it's the only way to keep up, to not make additional. Yeah, I have never had a problem with laundry detergents. The one I'm using right now, not an issue. Like I said, the shirt that I had was, let me tell them if they're coming up. The shirt that I hadn't worn in a long time. So who knows? Hi there. You can just leave it in the garage over here. Okay. Thank you. I needed to get my stuff. Who let Danielle off the treadmill? Yeah, so I double use my sweatshirts, my shirts, my jog bras, and everything else in between because it helps me. I did laundry and started load for me. Wow. Andrew wouldn't even know what to do. Andrew would have no idea. Andrew, I don't even believe, knows where the laundry room is. Just kidding. He goes in the laundry room every day because his clothes are in his hamper. So, and the only time he doesn't, and no, he doesn't put his clothes away. I end up doing it. I will, G. So anywho, nothing too exciting today other than what I'm doing. It's gonna be a low-key day. I really want my subscription on YouTube to flourish so we can get going on that and do our subscriber lives. I still might try to do a little bit. If I do a live tonight or tomorrow at some point, I will do my best to try to click it on and show you what it's like over here. I do laundry. That's nice. Okay, so Jean, as far as the family, this question gets asked a lot by other people, and the facts are what they may. It has nothing to do with money, Jean. Ed has money, and that's what the money is used for, is for his medical or anything like that. So that's not the issue. We don't need money. We have it. It's more complex than just that, right? It's more complex than we'll just get help. Now, I've been working on it, if you know about that. We're crossing a hurdle when we leave for Cabo, and then we will revisit it with the family. When you're dealing with several people, it's not as easy as you think. So, as far as the family, this bugs me when people say, well, why doesn't the family help? Why? When family steps up to the plate, love you, Jay. When family steps up to the plate, the ones that want to do it, step up. It's not any more complicated than that. The people who don't step up, for whatever reasons, don't step up. But those of us that do, therein lies why certain people do it and certain people don't. It's nobody's responsibility to care for their ailing parent, right? It's nobody's responsibility. My view is Ed is lucky. Ed's lucky he had two people step up to the plate to help, right? Most families don't have that ability. Most families have young kids or they work full time and they don't have the resources to do it, or they just don't plain want to do it, right? Plain and simple. I think the ones that step up should have more say. Me too. But you know who I'm married to, right? You know who I'm married to, right? So, yeah, but they don't, they'll be quick to criticize what you do and all that stuff, but the point of the matter is the people who are taking care of them have chosen to do so. The people who don't have chosen not to. It's black and white with that. It should be obvious. And at his age, at 92, there is no way you can be flipping him back and forth. He gets confused. He needs routine. I married Switzerland. You know, Mark. He's going to Mark's house. So after these 5 days, Mark's having, he's going to realize what we are talking about. So because my husband is in Switzerland, I have the caregivers lined up. He's going to realize why we want it, why I want it. You know what I mean? I don't really care. You know how I am. You know how I am. I don't give a fuck. I'm doing this shit full time. I'm the one sacrificing my free time. Fuck anybody who has an opinion about what I do and they don't. Hi, Arnold. You know what I mean? That's what I believe in. So, it's not easy. We still have to go, yes, Giselle, you know. Why doesn't Mark just stay at your house? For numerous reasons. Mark has a dog. Mark has a tortoise that he has to take care of. Mark always lets my dogs out. Mark's not comfortable staying at our house. And I don't want to deal with the stress of Mark coming over and letting out my dogs. So I put my foot down. I said, Mark, you're taking him for the 5 days we're gone. You keep him at your house. He has a room there. I know. And remember, he has spent time with Mark too. He recognizes his room when he's there. There's stuff in there, there's pictures. So it's not like he's going to a strange place. He has some familiarity with it. So please stay at your house. Take him. I'm over it. Take him. So my daughter is staying here to take care of my animals, which is so much more easier for me. I'm gonna go pee-pee really quick. Hold on a second. Woo! Gotta pee, y'all. Gotta pee. Sorry about that. I had to get Ed back to bed. Ed was up. Sis, you up yet? I was like, no, not time for you to get up. Get back to bed. Let me put my food, my frozen food away really quick. Fully cooked chicken breast, honey turkey. Okay. Get all this stuff in. I got my Red Bull. Red Bull makes you have beans. I got that. Okay, we're good. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, Ed was, sis. And I had to pee. I'm like, Ed, he wants to ask 20,000 questions. Not time to get up yet. I have to pee. No, I don't have to pee. No, I have to pee. Oh, you have to pee. I don't have to pee. Get in bed. Bobby, I'm not. I was so stressed out about it at the beginning. And now it's like, you know what? I don't care. They're going to deal with it. And they're going to realize the changes that have happened in the last 7 months. Mark hasn't had him in over 7 months. A lot has changed. And so I think Dan is just kind of, waiting and then for them to go. And this is why we need some help. All the kids are going but Jennifer because she's in finals, so she can't. Thank you, Carla. So I've let it go, Bobby. I really have. I was so stressed out at the beginning, and now I'm just like, you know what? it is what it is. You know, I've somehow relinquished that stress because of everything I do. And I can't worry about it, you know? I can't worry about it because I need me. I've given up. Hi, Pearl. Oh, hang in there, girl. I have given up a lot, and even more since the full time. And you know, adios, arrivederci, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, peace. Don't call me unless it's an emergency. I'll see you when I see you. So you too, Pearl. I'm so sorry. Am I going to go live? Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Jean, why doesn't Mark help anymore? Numerous reasons. Number one, once again, he's at the point that it's not safe for him to keep traveling back and forth. Disruption to the routine. Number two, Mark's getting older. He's dealt with his own health issues. Number three, we all knew this day was coming. I just didn't think it was going to happen so soon. Again, you cannot flip-flop a 92-year-old dementia man around. Who you say that I create no, Rhonda, I don't put anything, Dan nor I don't put anything on Facebook. Dan was your stepbrother. It's so old news. Why are you asking? Old news. Like from 5 months ago. Maybe even longer, because the troll started in on that a lot longer than that. So you guys have to consider and stop seeing things so, you know, I don't know, like, what do people see? How do people not get that? People say, you know, like, why doesn't anybody else help? Well, to me, that's common sense. I don't have to ask those questions because I obviously know, right? Like, obviously, they didn't want to, they couldn't. Nobody stepped up to the plate. Nobody has to step up to the plate. Nobody has to step up to the plate, you know? Mark took on Ed because he lives alone. He really doesn't work. And so he had the ability to care for his parents. Mark is one of those people who he's always been very accommodating to people who need help, especially his parents. So he was available for his mom. He took an Ed, but it came to be too much. Ed's a lot of work. And at the beginning, he was more difficult in different ways, right? He's difficult, but in different ways. And Mark was having physical ailments, stress, heart palpitations, anxiety. So that's when, you too, Emily, that's when we, Pearl, it's so hard. And that's when Dan said, can we try it? And I said, what you talking about, Willis? So Dan did it for Mark, really. You know what I mean? It started out to help Mark because he was having and Mark had him for 3 months by himself before we started helping. Literally went to Vermont to visit Carrie, and then Dan said, I think we can do it. I still said, what you talking about, Willis? Do what exactly? Huh? You want me to what? Who? Huh? No. 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 Please. Please. Please help me. Please, I think we can do it. Huh? Who? What? Huh? Yeah. So eventually, Ryan, what was my life growing up? Not good. Meaning he wasn't, and I don't want to delve into that because this is the reason why, once again, we didn't want to talk about our situation, because you guys know a man that we have portrayed to you, right? You have seen what we want to focus on today, not what was focused on in the past. So I wouldn't have had a second thought. Well, Susie, you must be perfect. You know what I mean? And there are second thoughts with taking in a family member. And by you saying that, I call BS. Because there is nobody who doesn't double think taking in a family member. My opinion, Susie Q. My opinion. And because of the tumultuousness of mine and Ed's relationship, or lack thereof, I had a lot of, it wasn't going to be easy, and I didn't think I could do it. But to say that I did it, yeah, I hate when people come in all fucking holier than thou. Well, I for never once had a second thought. Even if it was my mother, even if it was my father, I would still question it. What am I doing? Are you an idiot? Yes, but I do it anyway, because that's the type of person I am. But I ain't gonna say it's not easy, right? And because of the history that he and I had, it was extra difficult. So the first 3 months were hell. I made Dan choose, him or me, because I'm not going to live in this house under his control when it's my house and I broke free from it years ago. I refuse to do it. I refuse. I'm at the point in my life where my kids are older. I'm supposed to enjoy my time. I will not take care of somebody who, are just too much. And social media came in, and for some reason, I started changing me, right? I can't change the past. The only thing I can do is change the future. I can only change the future, and social media taught me a lot about myself, a lot about how I want to end my life and how I want to be for my family. People who want to see, they focus on social media, they focus on the stupid shit, Tone. Look at her eyes. She ever not roll her eyes? Listen to her sarcasm. That shit doesn't matter. It's the stuff that I saw within myself, and I started changing for myself to be a better person. And realizing I gotta let go of the past. I gotta move on to the future, because we can't change the shit that we did or we experienced. We can't do it. All it was gonna do is create more issues and stress and early death for me. Ryan, I agree with you. Ryan, I think that some of the reason why, Ryan said even though he has dementia, it does seem like he sometimes doesn't understand how much you and Dan do. He's always thanking me. People who don't really know the history, they're like, how does he always remember Danielle's name? I think he knows. I think he knows. He knows. He remembers. I grew up with him. I grew up with him. He's been around me. When I had kids, my mom and Ed's priority was to see us all the time. Their main priority. So he knows me. I'm a constant in his life. Even though we had bad times, I think he remembers. And that's why I think he's always thanking me. Because there was never a time that we would have thought we would have been here. Never a time. And I think he does thank me and appreciates it because he knows. So yesterday we had a rough patch, right? People always say, why do you say my house? She's such a bitch. She's so possessive. She has to prove to everybody and him that it's her house. So, this is why. Dan had gone to the grocery store. And he was just really antsy, right? We had gotten pissed off at him because he had ripped whatever part left the derma bond on in his face. He was bleeding. So I think some of that, got to him and it made him anxious or whatever. So Dan left and he was challenging me, right? He was challenging me. He was getting in my face. Ed, you may not, I'm gonna do it. Who says, And I said, I say, who are you? My house, my rules. Okay, all right. Although I don't think it's your house, but okay. All right, gets up 2 seconds later. Same thing. Ed, why? Who are you to tell me that I can't go outside and take a walk? Me. You're 92, you have dementia, and you can't, and he laughs. All right, but I'm still gonna go for a walk. Nope, why not? My house, my rules. All right. What? Why did you let, and you let the other one in? Ben is here. I don't understand. I can't. It's the same fucking argument every day. So my house, he backs down. He's a control freak. So you have to give him the possession of mine. Because if you don't give him the possession of mine, he thinks he can do whatever he wants, right? But obviously this morning, so, every situation is different. Hi, Jet. And people just don't have the foresight to see that.
Did you even say good morning and introduce me this morning?
I gotta pee.
I'm here.
Well, fuck, you're so annoying. Step on, do your own fucking introductions. Jesus.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you have a nice cup of coffee wherever you are. That's a rough question for 7 o'clock in the morning. What clothing? Are you talking to me? Good morning, everybody. I'm bringing shorts and t-shirts. That's all I'll wear in Cabo. Thanks, Bijo. I've been working on annoying my entire life. I've gotten up to, I've surpassed disappointing. I'm working on all of those things, and I believe I have achieved annoying. So I'm quite proud of that. I'm going to work on the next badge of honor soon. I don't know what that is. Hated? I don't know. Let's see. Good morning. Good. I just got up from bed, Sherry. I just got out of bed, like right now. My dog was there. You guys hanging out with Danielle?
No.
Good God, there's 600 people on here. What are you doing with Danielle? I mean, what do you guys do out here besides bag on me?
We weren't even talking about you this morning.
You're always bagging on
And
me.
your pants are inside out and backwards.
There you go.
Here's the hole. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
I'm gonna go this way there.
What? Don't let him in. I just took him out.
I didn't let him in.
And take the blankets and cover the pillows and the sheets until I can make the bed, please. Don't talk to him. Just go inside.
Why are you so early?
Because Wesley has a game. Remember? We talked about this.
Yes, we did. I'd have to go to the office.
Well, you're going to have to hurry up. How long is the office going to take? Because I told Ben I would take him to some wineries.
It's going to take whatever it takes. I don't know.
Ugh, get inside. You're bugging me. In 30 years, shit, I'm already taking care of him now, Ryan. I'm practically wiping his ass already. My birthday is May 5th. So anywho, that's my shit. That's my story. Yeah, yeah, fucking Dan. So his Dan go to buy more ice cream sandwiches. Oh my God. So he literally opens them up out here, throws the wrapper on the floor.
Just came out by himself.
And he must have had at least 4 ice cream sandwiches last night. Yeah. And Grandpa's had maybe 1 out of the whole thing. No, we're not getting Dan singing lessons. Hi, Tiffany. So yeah, any other questions about life? I don't want to focus on the past with Ed, but anything present. Yes, my mother is Ed's second wife. Thanks, the Bond family. Hello, Dragonfly. I was really involved in what you were saying. I know. And then Dan. Fucking Dan. Right? Fucking Dan. So, one more. Building. Ugh, Jed. We didn't make burgers. I get that grant if I go to... So, here's a predicament. Are you ready for this? Your eyes look a little swollen because I just woke up. So my eyes are a little puffy. Allergies are really bad here, you guys. My rash, I think, is getting better, but there's certain areas that are still really itchy. Ask Gene, ask Dan what he thinks about crock pot meals. Let's talk about my mom. No, Grandpa doesn't remember my mom. He might call me Janice when Hannah's here. He called Linda Janice a couple times. But sometimes, I think the other week, he surprised us with, "Where's my wife Janice?" And we were like, that's weird, you know? Yeah, he doesn't connect. That is, I don't know why, but he lost that along the way. And we don't bring it up because it would be another reminder of a loss and pain and so on and so forth. Plus, I have a hard time with it, you guys. I have never talked about this openly. But I'll give you the dish because, you know, it doesn't bother me that he doesn't talk about her for lots of different reasons. Now, without getting too in depth to their relationship, their relationship was more, was it love? Probably not. It was more companionship. They were both at an age where, you know, he didn't want to be alone. And she took her and I away from her base, her army in Nashville, drove cross country and started a new life for whatever reason. I don't know. I never got that far in our communications with my mom. I am a Taurus. I think it was really, he was, you know, stability for her. He was companionship. Ed doesn't like to be alone. I don't think he ever was. Now, I don't know how long of a difference it was between Ed and Joanne divorce, but a while, like a couple years or more. And I know he was just lonely. So I think it just happened for a good reason. To say that their marriage was a great marriage is not. It wasn't. It was full with a lot of, well, it just wasn't good marriage. And some of my built-up anxieties with him was from that, you know, the fantasizing. He was very controlling. He was a difficult man. It had to be his way or the highway. Wasn't well voiced. Would say mean things. He was an ass. Sorry. And so when my mom died, like I couldn't wait to get out, you know, of the house. I developed anxiety, PTSD from living in that. I always felt like my mom's protector. And then I had to leave, and that was really hard for me because I felt like at that point I couldn't protect her anymore. But I knew I needed to do it for myself. So after she died, all he did was talk about how great their marriage was. He romanticized it. And maybe that's what he needed to do to get through to it. But it bugged me. It bugged me. I couldn't handle that. So it made me angry, more angry at him for talking about how wonderful she was and all this stuff. And it was almost like he forgot. And that bothered me. That bothered me. So it developed another wall for me. And after her death, he would always try to talk to me. And I would never. Nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm not talking to you about my mom. I'm not going to do it. So, I would walk away. Or Dan would be like, Dad, she doesn't want to talk about, whatever. He never abused, never physical abuse. He was never a philanderer, never did any of that stuff. He just was a controlling ass, to just put it bluntly. So there was a lot of, it's funny you asked about Josh. Cool lady, I'll tell you that Josh, we talk about it a lot, because Rocky's Josh's wife. And she's like, he never talks, they've been married for a while, but, never, every time I try to bring your mom up, he doesn't want to talk about it. Josh has repressed a lot of things in that house. I'll bring things up, and I only lived with him till he was about 9 or 10, and then I moved out to go to school. So I, and the time that I left the house was like the worst times, right? She was really unhappy, and there's a couple times she went to go get a divorce, and she never did it. And then what they ended up doing, once I started having babies, they ended up selling their house and built a house up in Shingle Springs. And they became happier because they were around us and our babies, you know what I mean? And so Ed would spend a lot of time here when my mom was at work. Josh ended up finishing out high school here up in El Dorado Hills. And their marriage did improve, right, a lot. My mom had more of a will to live and to be happy because of the kids. She was one of the best grandmothers, and would have continued to be, and that's so hard for me. So, anywho, and then eventually as the dementia started kicking in, occasionally he would have glimpses and ask questions, and now it's totally gone. And I don't mind it. It still doesn't make me sad. Kind of a little bit for Josh, maybe. Kind of a little bit for Josh, because I know Josh suffers with the decaying Ed more than I think anybody else. And I don't know if that's going to make sense to you guys, but I think he's suffering more with watching his dad slowly die. Josh was also very close to my mother. And so tragedy struck hard, fast. Josh was in school, and he didn't come home to face the demons. And I think he used school as a crutch, which he was 22. I don't blame him for that, but I think today this is just all my interpretation. I think today he beats himself up for not facing the facts, for not coming home and seeing his mom one last time before she died. I would, and I know that resonates with him.
You gotta be careful, Josh and his feelings and stuff, and
I said my opinion.
I know, but I mean, he's a person. There's people out there that know him.
Yeah, but I think he's having a hard time with that. And he calls me a lot to check up on his dad and how is he doing. And excuse me, I got a little fuzz in my throat. How is he doing? Is it bad? Do you think, when he had his Mohs surgery this last time, and I was like, Josh, it's bad. Like, he is very bad. He was, I see them every weekend, right, with the kids and stuff like that. So, I'm like, Josh, like, is he gonna die? I don't have that answer. I don't think so, but, so they're gonna come over Sunday. We're gonna have a family dinner and stuff like that. But, now everything is just my opinion, but I know, the Ed thing for him is getting difficult. This time he's seeing it, he's watching it. He has me to inform him of it. So I think it makes it harder for him. Was Ed in his 60s? Ed was in his 50s. 50s, I think. Josh is 40, so Ed was 52. Yeah, Ed was 52. Did you live with your grandparents? I lived with my grandparents, yeah, until my mom picked us up and moved us to California. Yeah, we did. So he was 52. Ed at that point, my mom was the parent in the family. Ed at that point was not, I don't think Ed was ever really, like, he's a parent because he made the kids, but he wasn't, I don't know about in his younger years, but with Josh, he wasn't, my mom was the one who was the rule setter. My mom was the one who punished him. My mom was the one, who did all those things. So Mary, I am the glue. I am the glue. So yeah, it's not easy, The dynamics are so difficult for us because of what they are, right? So there's more that goes into play, Dan's always saying, be careful for this, be careful for that. But I'm allowed to talk about my feelings, right, a little bit. Are you close to your mill? Like, we don't go out to lunch. We don't call each other. So it just depends on what you classify as close. Look like sisters. I think, yeah, Josh is Ed's youngest son. So I think, so Josh is your brother and Dan's brother, half brothers, yes. We share Josh. Josh is probably more related to our kids than we even are. If you think about it. It's kind of a cool dynamic, Our story is really fucking cool, I think, anyway. Yeah, and I overcame all that, I overcame all that. And let me tell you, I never in my life thought that I could overcome that. I had a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, and just unhappiness, right? So I was able to turn the corner on that. I mean, that's pretty fucking amazing. And my mom's probably flipping over in her grave right now, I think my mom would be completely blown away. My aunt is blown away, right? Because, because of the fact that, I was able to do what I do and was able to let it go. So yes, Ed, in a way, when people are like, we have history. We have history that is just more than just, people are like, that's Dan's dad. Yeah, joke's on you, Like, he's also, I wouldn't say parent because he never parented me, but in loose terms, like, I grew up with him probably longer than Dan did, longer than Dan did. So, joke's on you guys. Like, Ed and I have a dynamic. We've always had a dynamic. He gets sassy with me. I get sassy back. And I'm entitled to do that because it is my and his relationship. Yes, I met him when I was 5. Yeah. 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 And Erica, a lot of people who still don't, oh my God, she talks to him like that because she's not her father. That's not her father. No, but lots of family history. So yeah. So Dan is not blood related. I saw somebody say, are you half or step? Step, people. The only blood relation I have with anybody is Josh and my brothers, Matthew and Mikey. It's not that difficult. And we fell in love. End of story. That's all there is. We procreated. We have a beautiful family. We're taking care of Ed. And that's it. Yes. And I think it should literally have a lot of understanding for people at this point, right? It should help people understand why he doesn't forget my name. Why am I the only person he doesn't forget? Because of that said history. Because of the tumultuous, I think because it was so tumultuous. And today I'm allowing him in my house, caring for him, bathing him, changing him, washing his clothes, feeding him. Yes, he knows. He knows. And that is why, because of our history. I've known him since I was 5. 5 years old. So anyhow, that's what's cool. I mean, if you think about the dynamics, now you can go back and you can understand more. You know, you can understand more of our dynamic. You can understand, I lived with a man until I was 19, I don't remember when we fully moved in with him, but I think they lived together before they were married, but I can't remember. 5, they were dating. The timeline of it all, I can't pinpoint those times. But they lived together before they were married, and we left him, and then they got married in Nashville. He came following us. But I can't say fuck anymore because then I wouldn't have probably married Dan and wouldn't have the family that I have today. So everything happens for a reason. Hi, friend. Hi, life. I never mistreat him, ever. Do I yell at him? Yes. Do I get frustrated with him? Yes. But isn't that life with family, right? That is life. I'm going to have moments. There are some photos I'll share. Now I can share some fun stuff. I might put them on Patreon, and I might put some on the YouTube subscription because I can add pictures to the YouTube subscription. So there are fun things that I'm learning on YouTube I can do that I can't really do over here. But like, you'll see pictures of me, Josh, Ed, on the stupid motorhome trips and camping trips. So I have all my mom's pictures. Yeah. And so really, oh no, life. I hate that. So yeah, so that's just my story and that's my dynamic with him. And it will be to the day we die. I mean, yesterday we were battling for 45 minutes. I literally called Dan and I said, I'm going to kill your dad. What the hell did you do to him? I said, what the hell did you do to him? Was he like this before you left? He said, no. And I said, well, what the hell? He is giving me shit. I was on the phone with Hannah, and Hannah was like, God, what's his problem? I said, right. And you have to, at those points, take control. You have to take the bull by the horns, and you have to get really close to him, speak to him, look him dead in the eyes, and say, bruh, my house, my rules. Sit your ass down. But Hannah was like, oh my God. I was like, Hannah, I'm giving him one more time. One more interruption, and I'm leaving because I'm about ready to hit my head into the wall or strangle your grandfather. So that's it. I mean, that's the reality of it. I mean, I don't sugarcoat that shit. I'm very close to Josh's wife, Rocky. Yes. We talk a couple times a week. And they're paying lots of money to come on my trip with me. They love Auntie. Yeah. I'm very close with them. So, because I think a lot of people are not, they're just catching on once again. Once again, there's still a lot of people who don't know the dynamic. There's still a lot of people who aren't, they just don't pay attention. My cobbler trip. How old was I when I married Dan? 23. How did Ed meet your mom? My mom worked at a hygienist's office that was 2 doors down from Ed's podiatry office, and Dr. Fernando DDS, who my mom worked for, set them up. He said, I think you should meet this guy. He's divorced, he's, older, and he can take care of you and Danielle. And well, first date, McDonald's coffee. There you have it. Are you close with your mom? Well, I was super close, but she's dead. My mom and I would be bosom buddies if she were alive. My mom and I, she would have probably traveled with me through Jennifer and Hannah's soccer games. She would have probably been my companion and all that stuff. And today, if she was still here, her and I would probably be double dutying with the Nuggets, and she would probably be over there visiting them a lot. My mom was super involved and would have been up until this day. So she passed of primary lung cancer. How do you subscribe to my YouTube? You have to go on my main page, and it's a blue button that says join. So YouTube, yes, I'm trying to learn so I can do more for the subscribers to give some extra perks and benefits. So I was like, oh my God, I think I could take pictures and upload them just for you guys so you can see. So anyhow, that's the skinny on everything. So if you want to, I'm not going to continue to go over the whole dynamics of my relationship and how everybody's connected. So for those of you who are just joining, if you want to know the skinny, YouTube, there's a morning where Dan and I talked about it. And if there was some way I could pin it and figure out a way, maybe I can do it. But we do need to maybe make a video and pin it to our account so everybody can kind of watch it, so we can refer to that, so we don't have to continue to repeat the same shit over and over again. Members, yes, not subscribers, members. So if you want to go look and find it, it's on 2:15, the morning video, and you would get it. No, my mom died with Ed. My mom, he gave her last morphine liquid, and then she passed several hours later. So Ed took care of my mom while she was dying, and was there and medicated her and did everything because I couldn't. I had small kids and babies and school and all that stuff. So that's it. Yeah. Yeah, the short version of a very long story. Yeah, and if Ed wasn't around, or he didn't have another significant other, right, to take care of her, it would have been me. It would have been me raising my kids and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. So no, I was very fortunate that at that time, I gotta look at the time. I'm very fortunate at that time that Ed flourishes. Ed has always flourished when needed, if that makes sense. So when anybody needs Ed or anybody's in need, that's when he does his best work, right? That's when he did his best work, was when somebody needed assistance, whether it be in trouble or dying or, whatever. I can't tell you that watching him take care of my mom at a time where I couldn't be there every day. I mean, I was there pretty much every day, but I could not spend hours with her because
because I had my family. I couldn't do it. And I wasn't in a position to take her. And first of all, Ed would have never let me take her to care for her, right? It just wasn't even something we thought about. It was just obviously he was going to do it. But he cared for my mom. I mean, he did a great job providing for her. Make sure he tried to shove food down her throat. It was almost like he was like, "You're not dying, we're gonna get through this. You need to fucking survive. I need you," type of a thing. Ed, you know, shows love in so many different ways. Today, it's much different than it was before. All of his love for my mom, right, came in that year, and really the last like month of her life. He was front and center. He, just was. I had no complaints. He did a good job. There's just no way I couldn't have done that. So, I I can't take that away from him. And I'm lucky that I'm lucky that he was able to do that for her. I'm lucky that he did it. I'm lucky that he didn't have any problems doing it. I thought with my father when my mom was dying. Yeah. No, but lung cancer 18 years ago is so different than it is today, right? She had primary lung, and she went through chemo. She did all that stuff, and there's just only so much you can do. It's only the treatments get better and better as years go by, and maybe today, if they had the same treatments then, she would still be alive. Do I feel a sense of obligation? No. He was married 2 times. My mom was a smoker. No, I don't feel a sense of obligation. Dan sometimes makes it seem that I should have a sense of obligation because of the way he took care of my mom. But no, because I didn't want to take care of him. I'm just saying, at the beginning, I just fuck that. I'm not doing that shit. Very painful to watch. No, he doesn't ever talk about my mom. Somebody said something about it. Ugh. Yeah, but I mean, Marianne, today it's different than it was then. He took care of my mom. Did they find the cancer too late? My mom, so 3 years before her diagnosis, and this is when it becomes really sad, right? 3 years before because she was a smoker, my mom was always very proactive about her health. She was always going in and getting checkups and getting x-rays of her lungs. 3 years before she got sick, y'all. Her lung showed some signs of whatever, spots. But the doctor was like, no, it's just, yep, it's just scar tissue from smoking, and then 3 years later, yeah, that probably was the time. Janice is my mom. So I think for him, sometimes he'll say, sometimes you guys will have, some of you remember, there's been times where he's like, I knew you when you were a little girl, and that's some of those memories coming back. And sometimes, as I age, I see my mom, I see my my aunt, which is my mom's youngest sister. And I sent her a video and I'm like, why do when I look at myself in these videos, do I look like you? I feel like we are definitely family. And so she sent me something back. She's like, well, what makes you say that? What are you saying? And making my face. I think it's the side in her jowls. The growing nose. But yeah, no, as I age, it's such a weird cross-contamination between my mom's side of the family and my dad's. So, yeah, no, it's because he has known me for almost all my life. Yeah. How's your... Joanne and I mean, we don't go out to lunch, we don't go out to dinner, we don't, do things like that. But I always tell her I can help her if she needs it, If ever she needed help with her house, very few times, I would help her and stuff like that. But nothing not No, nothing more than that. The prospect of Facebook rumor, the prospect of caring for Ed lied into oh, did you delete that? Mark's divorce. Kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of. Right? There was problems already there in the marriage. And it created issues. Yeah. So, and that's what it's not my business to talk about Mark and those things, but it created issues. I mean, as it does when you take care of a loved one. You know what I mean? It's not easy to assimilate somebody like that into the house, I love speaking about it, actually. I love speaking about it because I think it's a really fucking cool story. And I think it's I just think it's a cool story, and I think it's so cool about, and I think, it you have a relationship, with Ed is and how it turned, and have a better respect for me as a human, being able to do what I'm proud of myself, I'm proud of myself for being able to do what I've done. And still today, still proud of myself that I have been able to turn the other cheek. Now, does it come out sometimes? Absolutely. But it does with him too. He gives me a certain look and I'm like, come at me, bruh. Come at me, bruh. I'm ready to go, But that's the dynamic. That's like father and son dynamic. Excuse you.
How's Blue? Blue's awesome. What are you doing?
I'm trying to finish my workout and you're here in the way.
Are you angry at me?
I'm always angry at you.
Why?
Because you're just an annoying gnat that keeps flying around and won't go away.
I'm an annoying gnat?
Yeah. You know those ones that you can't get a fly?
The ones that you swat down and kill?
Yeah.
Squeeze and smash in your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you have it. You need to learn too early to be nice. And that's the thing is that, you hear a lot of creators always say, they talk about the trolls and the ignorant people out there. And, they always say, you guys don't know, we share what we want to share. And some people are very closed off to versus what I do. And people, what are you laughing at?
I'm just saying, there's nothing that you hold back.
I do.
Nothing.
Religion.
Well, we don't talk about religion.
Politics. Some.
God.
So there are some things that I do refrain from talking about. But I'm saying people don't know what people's journeys are about. And people are so mean. They don't think before they speak or they attack. But yet they attack and think it's okay. That gives them validation, It's big old validation to be a bully. Can you itch? Hurry. Itch.
Oh, it hurts?
Nails. Oh, God. I had my thing last night because it was...
Yeah. What thing?
Jesus.
What thing?
Ow, okay, God.
Allergy. Oh, first it's bring blood, and then it's out.
Hi, Iceman. How's that package?
I hope it is date night.
Anyhow. Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah, well, you come out and you interrupt things, and then you take away you're like a fucking troll coming in with their negativity. You come in singing, you take away the flow of whatever we're talking about at the time, and then you leave.
Oh, what a beautiful morning.
Nobody wants singing.
Oh, what a beautiful day.
God.
I got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. Rogers and Hammerstein. Whoever the hell they are. Yeah, we got pollen. We got some serious frickin' allergens going on here.
Yeah. Dan's always looking for attention.
I'm looking for attention. I'm a little bored.
Yes.
Grandpa's still asleep.
Well, I threw him back in bed. I come in. Did you hear him? At 7:20?
That was not horrendous. What?
Did you hear him?
I heard
at
you
7:20?
put him back to bed.
Yeah. Sis, are you up yet?
Oh, what
Okay, go
All right.
away.
Fine.
Do your own lives. What was Dan's relationship with Ed like? Because he's my
Can I
husband.
answer that?
No. Oh, Jesus, he's coming back. Remember, Dan's mom and Ed divorced. Dan was 10 when he moved out of the house. So, I mean, Dan only lived with his dad until what, 10 or 9?
I think my dad moved out when like 8 or 9.
Yeah, so Dan was 8 or 9 when his dad moved out. So, at that point, you know, all his brothers and sisters were gone. It was just Dan. I mean, Ed is not like a father figure. He's there, right? But he doesn't parent in the ways that most dads and moms parent. It just, and so at that time, you were probably just, do you even remember living with him?
Yeah, I remember it was the best time of my life. Before my parents got divorced, without a doubt, the best time of my life.
Because you were the only one in the house?
No, we were all there. I had my whole fucking family there. It was great.
I thought all your siblings were in college.
By the time my parents divorced, but when I was growing up.
So you remember from what?
I remember having my brothers and Dave and Mark in the next room, my sister across the hall. I shared a room with Adam. I remember that. I had Baron. I had my cats. Yeah, I mean, I remember that's the best time of my life, without a doubt.
Do you remember your dad, though? Not about your life.
I mean, I remember him, like, being there.
Yeah, so Ed is just a person that's there.
I mean, I don't remember anything like, you know, like a full conversation with anybody, but I remember the whole dynamic. He was just part of the dynamic like everybody else. I had a whole family. They were my unit.
My unit.
Divorce sucks.
Speaking of, how's our divorce coming along?
I don't know. Can we speed it up a little?
Anyhow.
I need to get you out and bring in some more cats.
Ed, see, I don't like that term, Lady A. It's so weird to me. There's certain triggers with that. She said, so basically, Ed raised you longer than Dan.
Ed didn't raise you at all.
Ed didn't raise me.
You had your own father.
Yeah,
and you rebelled against that.
There was no parenting from Ed. We lived in a house together. We cohabitated together. End of story. That was it. There was no barely.
You were like oil and water.
Oil and water. I mean, we literally.
If you were in the same room, there was going to be an explosion.
Yes, we didn't do well together. You know, he would poke me. I would fight back. You know, I was young. Ed's a poker. Like somebody else we know here. And I would always explode and fight back. He was the same way, you know, controlling, and, you know, that's the thing. And so I tried not to look at him or try not to communicate with him. I just lived there in the house that he and my mom bought. Oh, Lola, they do bash me, and they come in stronger, Lola, when I'm away, for sure. So yeah, I mean, it was, you got to remember, there's everybody probably in the family has a little, what's the word? You know, because I was nobody knew that Ed was, it wasn't like Ed announced to his family that we didn't know he got married. They didn't know he got married until after it happened.
Until your mom was pregnant with John.
Dan showed up one day and I was 5 in the house because there was
weren't in the house.
No, not in the house, in the apartment, your dad's apartment. And you showed up because there was an active shooter. And that's when Dan found out that his dad was dating a woman with a kid. And then I didn't see Dan forever after that. That scared Dan off. He was like, what the fuck? My father has a new family. So I think in that time, it had to have been really hard for maybe the siblings and everybody in that.
They were off living their own lives.
They were living their own lives, but like they weren't aware that he had, you know, a family until it was. But yeah, no, we just lived together. Yeah, Dan, his mom lived on a lake about 5 miles from where we lived, or where Ed lived. We didn't live with him at that time. They were dating, but yeah, Dan shows up and there's, you know, 5-year-old girl. Hi, come play with me. And Dan's like, okay, I just ran away. My mom sent me to my dad's apartment, and because there was an active shooter, and who the fuck is this? Could you imagine? No, Dan, take your feet and move them away.
Go that way. God damn it. Okay, well, operation failed.
I was about 5 when I met Ed. 5. That's what I just said, 5. Yeah. So I've known Ed for a very long time. I've known Ed for almost 45 years. Hi, Hecka. 45 years. So anyhow, okay, guys. It's just we're recycling all of the questions. Or did you want to talk more,
I'll talk.
or are you done?
No, I got energy.
Okay. Well, then you
Saturday.
talk. You talk, and then I'll work out.
You're gonna work out?
I'm gonna do some arms, and then I got shit to do. I gotta shower. Maybe we'll have a little quickie before.
At what point did we start noticing each other? We so that happened much later. So when I lived with my mom, and I was pretty much on my own. I mean, I was from seventh grade through high school. I was pretty much just finding my way in life, not going to school, just partying, playing sports, doing that kind of stuff. And then we had my mom kicked me out of my house. I brought some girl home, and my mom, the next morning, my mom got pissed off, and she put all my stuff out. So she booted me out. I don't know exactly how old I was, but I went to my dad's for 2 days. And Danielle was in Nashville for the summer or what have you. And so I was there for 2 days. I didn't know where she was, and I'd show up, and I would be out with my friends all day. I'd get home late at night. I'd go to sleep and wake up, at 10 or 11 in the morning, whatever was going on that summer. And I made arrangements to go live where I actually lived for like 5 years with my best friend, who was also, his parents were divorced, and his mom was renting out rooms to help stay in the house. So I went and rented a room from her for 5 years. But the second day that I was there, in the morning, I woke up like at 10 o'clock, and Danielle had come home from Nashville. And she was, grown up. She was tan, whatever. But we had a fling at that point, and that lasted for about a year and a half, and we fell in love. And then, after about a year and a half, we said, "Hey, you're young. You have to find your own way in life." And so we broke it off for a year and a half, and I went my way. She went hers. She dated. I dated a million people. I couldn't find anybody that was even close. I mean, I was just fucked up during that year and a half. She was out having a ball. And then I finally met somebody. I met Jennifer. And
I love telling this story.
It's just the story. I met Jennifer. I had graduated from college. I had met Jennifer. She was a senior at college back east. She was graduating in a semester, and during that spring break, or that winter break, we just hit it off. My mom introduced me to her, and her dad was a medical professor at UCSF. He was a doctor. He taught surgery. Her mom was really nice, and we hit it off like you wouldn't believe. And that was during over Christmas break, and then I probably, we had plans, probably would have married Jennifer. And then over the course of that Christmas break, when she went back to school back east to finish her last semester, Danielle was in her first semester of college, and I get serious with this new person. And believe it or not, the reason Danielle and I are together today is because of Danielle's mom. So Danielle's mom heard what was, about what was going on with me, probably through my siblings or through my dad, whoever she heard. And she told Danielle, if you don't do something, you're going to lose this guy. And Janice lost her first love. I truly believe this. And he was a medical student. And she ended up, getting married to Danielle's father, and then divorcing and ending up settling with a much older man. So I think she was very in tune with that first love kind of thing. And Danielle said, when I was with Jennifer, Danielle's mom went to Danielle and said, "If you don't, act." And so Danielle started coming back after me, and I was in love. So we had to decide, what are we going to do? Are we going to go our separate ways because of this this step thing, or are we going to say screw it and go for it? And we said screw it and went for it. That's our story. Connection. How bad was the connection?
What?
How bad was the connection? We're losing lost connection. What's going on? Did they go on to start gaming or something?
It does that all the time.
Oh.
Dan. It's not, you have to pay attention.
How much did you get? I mean, I don't know what you got or what you didn't get.
Dan doesn't pay attention. He doesn't wait.
It's still bad. I mean, it says lost connection. I see a bad connection. It's just bad.
Where?
I mean, where?
Okay, so you do this. You do this. You do this.
You do?
Yeah, it'll come back. It just takes a minute.
Well, it's been going. I mean, from a lot of people that.
Yeah, well, I can't change it. Lost the whole story. Well, YouTube heard it. Okay, now it's switching back.
I don't know where the. I mean, I have to start again. Are you kidding?
No, they're gonna have to. Okay, so.
I think now I can see. I can answer questions.
Yeah, everybody's like, shit.
And that's what happened. Now you know. It glitched. It says good connection right now. Hopefully that's going to stop glitching. Here, why don't we move closer to the... I mean, I'll bet you they're up there gaming is what's happening.
No, they're not. They're sleeping, Dan. This happens every morning. Jesus.
All right, well, it's out now. So.
All right, guys. It's glitching. All right, you guys.
It's glitching.
We're gonna leave. It's glitching. You guys heard it all. TikTok did not. But it's picking up bad here. So, Leslie, can you go back in there and just tell everybody that we have to leave because I don't know what's going on with the connection. So, bye guys. Sorry. Anyhow, and so count yourself lucky. There you have it. It was good while it lasted, right? Anyhow, have a great day, you guys. It was good while it lasted, but I don't know, something's going on with, actually, it's TikTok, not me, because you guys are here, so it was TikTok. So anyhow, there you guys have it. Love ya. I got shit to do. I gotta shower, gotta play with the dogs and all that stuff. So have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Mwah.